Why would a global superstar, adored by millions, choose to isolate himself in a military camp, away from the glitz and glamour of fame? The revelation has left fans in disbelief, and even his closest friends, Jungkook and Taehyung, were left speechless. What could have driven Jimin to such an extreme decision? Was it pressure, a hidden secret, or something even more shocking? For months, speculation ran wild as ARMY tried to piece together clues from cryptic social media posts, sudden absences, and whispers in the industry. No one truly knew what was happening behind the scenes. Then, in an emotional and unexpected confession, Jimin finally decided to reveal the truth, one that even his fellow BTS members never saw coming. A shocking decision that left fans confused. When news first broke that Jimin had voluntarily chosen to stay in a military camp, disbelief spread like wildfire. The world was used to seeing him as a vibrant performer, lighting up the stage with his dazzling smile and smooth dance moves. So why would he willingly retreat into such a rigid and disciplined environment? Rumors swirled. Some believed it was an early enlistment strategy, while others suspected a deeper personal struggle. Theories ranged from a hidden military background in his family to an emotional escape from something no one could understand. But no one had the real answer until now. The day everything changed, Jimin's decision didn't happen overnight. There was a moment, a turning point, that pushed him to leave his comfortable life behind and embrace solitude in the harsh conditions of military training. And it wasn't just one reason. It was a series of events that built up over time. He had been battling something in silence, something that even his closest friends didn't fully grasp. The intense pressures of fame, the unrelenting expectations from the world, and the weight of being a role model had taken their toll. But was that all? Or was there something even more personal hidden beneath the surface? Jungkook and Taehyung's heartbreaking reaction. When Jimin finally opened up about his decision, Jungkook and Taehyung were at a loss for words. The bond between the three had always been strong, but even they had been left in the dark about his true struggles. "I had no idea he was feeling this way," Jungkook admitted, his voice filled with regret. "I wish I had noticed earlier." Taehyung, usually the playful one, was visibly emotional. "We always thought he was the strongest among us. But now I realize strength isn't just about smiling through the pain. It's about knowing when to step back and take care of yourself." Their reaction spoke volumes. If even the people closest to Jimin were shocked, what did that say about the burden he had been carrying alone? Why the military camp? The real reason revealed. Jimin explained that he needed a place where he could completely disconnect, where he could find clarity without distractions. The strict structure of military life gave him something he had lost, a sense of discipline that wasn't tied to performance or expectations, but to personal strength and resilience. He admitted that the idea first came to him during a moment of deep exhaustion. "I woke up one day and realized I didn't recognize myself anymore," he confessed. "I wasn't just tired, I was lost." The military camp provided something that no luxury vacation or social media break could: a complete reset. There were no cameras, no expectations, no need to be perfect. Just raw, unfiltered existence. The silent struggles he faced behind the scenes. Though BTS is known for their deep bond, the weight of their individual journeys often goes unnoticed. Jimin had been struggling with the demands of constant public scrutiny, the fear of disappointing fans, and the endless cycle of needing to prove himself. Despite his success, he often questioned if he was enough. "I would lie awake at night wondering if I had given my best, if I had let anyone down," he admitted. It became an obsession, this need to be perfect all the time. The military camp stripped away all those external pressures. It forced him to confront his fears and insecurities in a way he had never done before. At ARMY's emotional response. As Jimin's confession spread across social media, fans responded with overwhelming support. Many were heartbroken that he had suffered in silence, while others expressed admiration for his bravery in choosing to step away and heal. "I just want him to be happy," one fan wrote. "Fame isn't worth losing yourself." Another added, "We always think our idols have everything, but they struggle just like we do. Jimin, take all the time you need." The outpouring of love was a reminder of the deep connection between BTS and their fans. Jimin's honesty only made that bond stronger. The moment everything became clear. Looking back, Jimin realized that his decision was never about running away, it was about reclaiming himself. It wasn't an easy journey, but it was necessary. I'm still healing, he admitted. But for the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm truly living. Jungkook and Taehyung, now understanding the depth of his struggles, have vowed to stand by him no matter what. He's our brother, Taehyung said, and we'll always be here for him. What's next for Jimin? Now that Jimin has opened up, the question remains, what does this mean for his future? Will he return to the stage with the same passion? Or will this experience change the way he approaches his career? One thing is certain, this journey has transformed him. And if there's one thing ARMY knows about Jimin, it's that he always finds a way to turn struggles into strength. For now, fans can only wait and support him as he takes this next step in his life. Whatever happens, one thing is clear: Jimin's story isn't over. In fact, it may just be beginning at a new chapter. Jimin's path to rediscovery. Now that Jimin has finally broken his silence, what comes next? His time in the military camp wasn't just about stepping away. It was about finding something within himself that had been buried beneath years of pressure and expectation. But has he found the answers he was looking for? And how will this experience shape the way he moves forward, both personally and professionally? One thing is certain. This was more than just a temporary escape. It was a moment of transformation. The question now is, what will Jimin do with the clarity he has gained? Jimin's private battles, and the moment he knew he had to leave. Before he made the drastic decision to isolate himself in a military camp, Jimin had been struggling with a storm of emotions that no one could see. The stage had always been his sanctuary, the place where he could express himself fully. But over time, that sanctuary started to feel like a prison. There were days when I would wake up and feel nothing, he confessed. Not sadness, not happiness, just emptiness. For someone as passionate as Jimin, that feeling was terrifying. He had spent years pouring his soul into his music, his performances, and his fans. But somewhere along the way, he lost sight of who he was outside of BTS. The moment he knew he had to leave came unexpectedly. It wasn't during a breakdown or a crisis. It was during a seemingly ordinary rehearsal. He had been dancing, pushing himself as always, when suddenly he stopped. I looked at myself in the mirror and I didn't recognize the person staring back at me, he admitted. That's when I knew something had to change. That night, he made a decision that shocked even himself. He would leave everything behind, not as an act of defiance or desperation, but as a step toward healing. How the military camp changed him. At first, the transition was jarring. The world of music and entertainment had conditioned him to always be on, always performing. But in the military camp, there was no audience, no stage, no cameras. The first few days were the hardest, he said. I kept reaching for my phone, expecting notifications, messages, something, but there was nothing. Just silence. That silence was both terrifying and liberating. Without the constant noise of the outside world, Jimin was forced to confront himself in a way he never had before. Waking up before dawn, training his body through intense exercises, and following strict routines gave him something he had been missing, a sense of discipline that wasn't tied to expectations or pressure. It was just about him, his body, his mind, and his willpower. I learned to appreciate the smallest things, he reflected. The feeling of the morning air, the rhythm of my own breath, the simplicity of just existing without needing to be anyone but myself.